I went from working multiple jobs and training people in the gym to replacing my income with my online coaching business. And here's exactly how I did it with no team and no ads. Okay, so you're probably wondering, like, do I need a big following first? Because I saw a lot of people who had an online coaching business. They have already a massive audience. They have above like 10K to 100K plus followers, right? And you're probably wondering, like, can I even afford to run ads, to start an online fitness coaching business? Because, you might be worried that you have to spend thousands of dollars on ads, or like, what if I'm not certified? Or like, do I need to build a brand first before I do this, right? These are some common questions that I had to. But before I even show you the system, let me crush a few myths. My client Caleb went from working in-person jobs to getting 6 clients within a month and fully going online with less than 1,000 followers. And here's just some proof. And we've helped tons of other people do this too, as you could see. So there's that thing. And he had less than 1,000 followers. Now, you don't need to run ads either, right? I've built 2 online coaching businesses that hit 10K a month in revenue without running ads. And if you're not certified, that's completely fine, right? I got my clients for my online fitness coaching business without having any certifications. But here is the honest truth, right? In the beginning, I was like extremely burnt out and overwhelmed because I was waking up at 4:30 a.m. in the morning every single day. I had to, you know, go in the morning sometimes to train people or either work the jobs that I had. Like, for example, I was doing lifeguarding, I was a fragrance sales specialist. So I had a lot of responsibilities in my life. So I was constantly doing a lot of volume, right? I was putting in a lot of work and I just felt burnt out because nothing was working out. And I was extremely overwhelmed because, I would watch tons of different videos on, like how to make money online, how to make 5 to 10K a month online and stuff like that. And I would always see, my screen was just flooded with these videos. One person talking about this strategy, then another person talks about this strategy. And there's honestly like millions of strategies inside the internet, right? There's literally infinite amounts of strategies. So I was extremely overwhelmed, and it felt like when I follow one system and then I try to do something else in advice that someone else gave me, it's like it would just cancel out, so I wouldn't actually see any progress, right? And I was just stuck in low leverage delivery, which means like when I was working in person, I would drive like 40 miles to the gym to train people and stuff like that. So it was just extremely low leverage. And I knew that there was a way better way to do this. And I had a time constraint because like I mentioned, like I was, working a job, and then, like even during my lunch break, I would like work on the business, and then after working that other job, I would go do personal training, drive to like a gym or like an apartment gym, go train a client there. And it just felt like it was so low leverage because I knew I could impact way more lives if I took people online and got clients online, because I would be able to transform more people, change more lives, and it would also allow that flexibility, right? Because like now I'm moved to my dream city in Miami. I've been able to make money with my online coaching business. Within like about 2 to 3 months, I've been able to generate 30K plus in revenue, and I've helped tons of other people make money online, right? So honestly, here's the thing that I learned, that having a proper system is super important, especially if you don't have a massive audience, especially if you don't have any teams, or if you don't want to spend like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on ads, right? The best way to do it is having a proper system. So I got a mentor, right? I got a mentor and I just listened to him, right? And I just had a proper system to do it. Now, one of the best ways to do it is simply by reaching out to people, right? Reaching out to people and creating content. But I'm going to touch on this more, so make sure you guys stick around till the end of the video because I'm going to share with you exactly how I did it, right? And now I've been able to make over 10K a month, have time freedom, have location freedom, and stuff like that. This is just from one of my processors, right? If I go inside of school here, you guys could see Here's 7.4K just from one of my processors. I also have other processors and direct bank transfers, but that's just some proof right there, right? So here's the thing. Now I've been able to make over 10K a month in terms of like revenue. I have time freedom, location freedom. So I could pretty much replace my entire 9 to 5 income, right? So I'm able to do this. And so in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can go from maybe a trainer, someone who's working a job, to making like a full-time income online, right? A lot of people say like, make 100K, make this amount, but that might be overwhelming, right? So honestly, making even like your first 3 to 5K a month online might be like a good stepping stone towards, the bigger and ambitious goals that you have. I'm sure that you have, right? So here's the 4-part framework that helped me do it, right? Now, the first most important thing is actually having an offer, right? And specifically a high ticket offer, because, especially when you don't have a massive audience, you can't reach as much people, as much potential customers, right? So it's extremely low leverage if you're selling, let's say, like a $50 thing, like a community, or $50 for coaching, or for sessions or stuff like that, right? So you want to sell high ticket, which is above 1K prices, right? And the way that you do that is by creating a high ticket offer, which is I help niche. So a specific group of people. It could be like, I help entrepreneurs, I help busy professionals, basically a group of people get a desired outcome that they want when it comes to fitness, right? Like maybe getting a 6-pack in a certain time frame using a unique mechanism, which this pretty much just helps you separate yourself from the entire market, right? Like maybe without sacrificing your favorite food, without going to the gym or something like that, with weighted calisthenics. So you want to have your unique thing inside the offer. And then you want to charge high ticket prices above 1K. Low ticket is under $500. High ticket territory is 1K and above, right? Now from there, that's when you dive into the second thing, which is traffic. Now traffic, when you don't have a massive audience, especially if you have less than 10K followers, is going to ideally come from networking with people, right? Networking with, more specifically, the right people. Networking with ICP, which means your ideal client profile. So let's say you help people get 15% body fat, right? It would be wise of you to network with people who are actually overweight and want to get to 15% body fat, right? When you network with people who have that desire already, it's going to make your life way easier, and it's going to allow you to get the sale. Like I remember in the beginning, I would network with the wrong people, which made me so stuck. I was in the wrong places. I was in the wrong fishing pond, you could say, right? So I was just left over there feeling extremely hungry, right? But as soon as I changed that, I started networking with the right people. I started doing outreach, reaching out to tons of people, selling my time to reach out to people because I didn't want to spend money on ads. Things worked well. I started getting clients coming in through the door, right? And it's simply by doing it more consistently. By the way, watch, I'm going to leave a video in the description. Watch that video on exactly how to do like outreach and network. I go more over it. It's actually a call that I had with 2 of my clients where I like explain more about that. But yeah, reaching out to people is one of the best ways, especially if you don't want to run ads, because if you are making anywhere lower than 10K a month, the best thing that you could do right now is doing more volume and reaching out to as much people as possible, because right now, literally no one knows you exist inside of your market, right? Like let's say you help 9 to 5 workers get jacked. Literally no one knows that you exist right now. Like just imagine if 5,000 people who wanted to get jacked and that work a 9 to 5 job simply knew that you exist and you had conversations with them. You can only imagine what would happen, right? So reaching out to people is the best, right? So yeah, simply sell your time. Like put in the reps, put in the work by reaching out to people, and then also creating content, because content is a long-term asset, right? Because when you create a video, that one video could reach multiple people, which helps you scale your relationship, which is overall just gonna be a high leverage point, right? So content is extremely good, and the best place to create content is simply YouTube, because long form videos um, nurture people more. So it builds KLT, which means people know you more, they like you more, and they trust you more, which is actually how you're able to get a sale, right? People don't just buy from random people. So when you create these longer videos where you give people more value about whatever it is that you offer, then you warm up your lead. A lead equals people that you could contact, right? You warm these people up, so then they'll be way more likely to buy, right? So yeah, YouTube is the best place, and it's also it promotes your video years down the road. So a video that you post from 1 year ago can possibly do good now. So because of the YouTube algorithm, this works extremely well. And then from there, the third pillar is conversion. Now, I personally use School for conversions, right? So I take people into my school group. Here's a great way to like nurture people, give people some resources, some value, warm them up, and then eventually from school, you can, get people to book a call, and, once they become your client, then you just deliver. And the best way to deliver with an online fitness coaching business is by doing like one-on-one calls in the beginning. Because like I mentioned, you're charging high ticket prices. So don't even think about like scaling in the beginning. Just getting as much clients as possible in the beginning is the biggest thing. And then after you get that, there's going to be more scalable models like group coaching, like something that I'm testing and I'm doing here and there right now, which is like, one to many, right? Like you have one meeting with like over like, let's say like 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 plus clients, 20 plus clients, right? So just high leverage, but in the beginning with delivery, just simple one-on-one calls is enough, right? And then if your clients need help, you could just give them value, but don't think too much about the product in the beginning. A mistake that I made, this is actually from one of my journals before I was successful. I don't have the exact page, but I posted a story about it inside of my Instagram. Oh, I flipped to the right page. So I was pretty much trying to create the product right here before I had clients. So I would spend time overthinking about like, I need to create a course. I need to do this. I need to do that. When in reality, that's actually selfish, because I came to realize that if I get clients first and then they tell me the problems that they have, I could create the solution around that problem. Right now, I've already transformed my life, but each person has a unique way of doing it, right? So it's actually more valuable if you get the client first and then you create the product around the client. Like once you have like, let's say like your first 10 clients, your product's gonna be 100 times better than when you had no clients or when you had 2 clients, right? So you wanna just get those clients coming in through the door in the beginning, right? But anyways, yeah, I hope this video helped you guys out. And this is exactly the best way to scale your online fitness coaching business, specifically if you don't have a team or you don't want to run ads and you don't have a massive audience, like you don't have like 50,000 followers or 50,000 subscribers on YouTube and stuff like that, right? If you are lower than like even 10K, let's say, right? This works extremely, extremely well. With that being said, I currently have 10 spots open to work with me one-on-one to make your first 5 to 10K a month online. So if you're curious, click the link in the description and join my school group and apply, right? It's first come, first serve. I hope this video helped you guys out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.